For most of 2018, Nintendo's been building hype up for Smash Ultimate by sprinkling us with information every few months or so, but when it was made apparent that Waluigi was only going to be an assist trophy as opposed to a playable character, fans of the purple tennis player raised hell all over the internet in the hopes that Masahiro the Sackman Sakurai would change course and squeeze him into the game by the time it came out. But despite the fact that his fans were pretty riled up, the case that Waluigi should be in Smash Ultimate before any of the characters who weren't in Smash 4 was quickly dismissed in court thanks to the video I made on why he shouldn't be in Smash Ultimate. However, when the very last character revealed for the game turned out to be something that absolutely nobody asked for, I could totally get why Waluigi fans started riots. And I agree that the case for why he shouldn't be in the game deserves to officially be reopened. However, at the risk of rabid Waluigi fans vandalizing my brand new car, I'm gonna have to say that I totally understand why the Piranha Plant made the cut over Waluigi, despite having almost zero popularity as a character before.
Wow, I didn't even do anything!
But before you Waluigi fans lower the resale value on my brand new car, take a deep breath, crack open a can of horse, call my mom, tell her that her little boy ain't coming home, press the subscribe button if you haven't already, and allow me, the Pulitzer Prize winning Cameron, to tell you why the friggin' Piranha Plant was included in Smash Ultimate over Waluigi, all things considered. A lot of you might be thinking I'm just trying to troll Waluigi fans for clicks, but even though I am hoping for a few clicks so I could pay off my brand new car, I really do understand why the Piranha Plant, aka PP, got the nod over Waluigi. Don't get me wrong though, I'm not denying that Waluigi's clearly the more popular character. I mean, pretty much any video game character was more popular than the Piranha Plant, and Sakurai might as well have added Lakitu's Cloud, Error from Zelda, or even One Thing of Corn as playable characters. And seeing as how the Smash roster is more or less a video game hall of fame at this point, it's a pretty big gut punch to Waluigi and his fans that a minor enemy from the Mario series gets the nod. If you wanted to be a dick, you could argue that the Piranha Plant's technically more important to the Mario universe than Waluigi, since it's been prominently featured in probably every Mario game to date, whereas Waluigi's just kinda there in a few spin-off titles aside from Mario Kart, who I hardly even see anybody choose online anyway. But at least Waluigi's actually a playable character in Mario Kart and not just a power-up. In fact, the Piranha Plant used to be Waluigi's goon in Mario Party 3, so there's no doubt that Nintendo knows damn well that the Piranha Plant's not as important as Waluigi, and the fact that it's got a spot on the Smash roster without anybody asking for it over a character who fans have been begging for is ridiculous. I mean, before its reveal in Smash Ultimate, I literally don't think there's one person in the entire planet who would have told you that the Piranha Plant was in their top 10 favorite video game characters. Heck, most people probably wouldn't have even considered it an actual character. And not only that, but I'm sure coming up with a moveset probably took a considerable amount of effort and imagination compared to how easy it would have been to do so for Waluigi. Although, if you ask my goofy ass, that's kinda why I personally love the Piranha Plant being in the game, and I'm sure the challenge of creating something out of pretty much nothing was a good way to keep Sakurai from getting bored. And besides, just because fans consider the Smash roster to be kind of like a video game hall of fame doesn't mean that's actually what it is. At the end of the day, it ultimately just comes down to who the Sackman feels like putting in there, and that usually entails who fans want the most, regardless of the creator's personal feelings towards those characters. I mean, on top of Cloud and Solid Snake having barely ever done anything for Nintendo in the past, they also pants poor Sakurai at the sock hop like 5 years ago, and he still swallowed his pride and put him in the game because it's best for business. However, even though all Saki can forgive someone for pantsing him in front of his hot date, one thing he just can't tolerate is people blowing his Twitter feed up with rude images and borderline threats over Waluigi not being playable. So can you really blame the guy for taking an obscure plant, turning it sideways, and sticking it straight up the candy asses of the Waluigi fanbase?
I'm not programmed to follow your orders.
Besides, the Smash roster was apparently finalized long before even Xenoblade 2 was revealed, meaning that the few months between Waluigi's reveal as an assist trophy and the game's launch wasn't enough time to shoehorn a new character in on the fly, especially without sacrificing quality. And I know Waluigi fans think it should have been obvious for Sakurai to include their hero into the game, but I'm pretty sure Sakurai thought everyone was just joking about wanting Waluigi in the game, since a lot of the character's popularity is due to memes more than its contributions to an actual game. And I know that Waluigi has a lot of fans who don't care about the memes, but I can totally see why Saki didn't consider the character till the Twitter backlash. And by that point, it'd have been dumb to rush him into the game and neglect other things that people probably care about more. And seeing as how the Piranha Plant's not going to be available at launch, it kind of implies that it was a last-minute decision. But that doesn't necessarily mean that this last minute was within the past 2 months. For all we know, the dang plant could have been in the works for a year. And sure, Waluigi already being an assist trophy means that there's at least some kind of groundwork and moveset already figured out, and turning him into a full character probably wouldn't have been as complicated as making anybody else from scratch, let alone this thing. But they kind of already had Waluigi set as an assist trophy and probably didn't want to scrap all that work since it wouldn't even result in the game selling one more copy to make him a playable character. And I know I've said in previous videos that after seeing Waluigi as an assist trophy rather than a playable character, that any new characters added from that point forward would either be easier to add to the game like Echo Fighters, or be more popular and or important than Waluigi, seeing as how he's really never been that big of a deal in any of the games he's ever appeared in. And yeah, the PP's certainly not more popular, nor is it easier to create, but it also isn't really a part of the official roster anyway. It's essentially just pre-order DLC, which I think's lame to have in the first place, even if the plant truly isn't ready for launch, but I think it'd be even lamer if the pre-order DLC was a character people actually wanted. Cause imagine if somebody bought a Switch in 2020 and wanted to download Smash Ultimate, but since it's past the deadline to register the game, they couldn't get the bonus character. And for something as obscure as the PP, nobody would really care too much if it was missing. But imagine if the pre-order DLC was of a popular character like Waluigi or Ron Jeremy. I think fans would be pretty pissed that he's not really a part of the game. I'm sure there's still going to be a way to get the character after the deadline expires, but it's still probably going to be a hassle to have to jump through hoops. So thankfully it's only going to be for a character that nobody really wants. But something about the Piranha Plant's treatment just makes it feel unimportant to the grand scheme of things, and it's a prime example of what a bonus should be. Something that you're happy to have, but don't really care if you don't. And an actual character like Waluigi deserves better than that. Because even if you're sick of hearing people complain about Waluigi not being in the game, he is a character that people actually want. And since people want Waluigi in Smash, why rush him in there and risk hurting the game? Besides, there's a difference between giving the people what they want and being bullied into it. I mean, I always try to give my dumbass kids nice things from time to time, but if they piss and shit everywhere when they don't get what they want and start making demands, I'll just go ahead and put a lump of shit in their Christmas stockings. And I would say the Piranha Plant's equivalent to Sakurai trolling Waluigi fans with a nugget of his doo-doo, but even though I actually do want Waluigi in Smash and think he deserves a spot on the roster more than a Mario Kart power-up, I honestly think the Piranha Plant's pretty friggin' brilliant. I know that saying such a thing puts my brand new car at great risk, but having obscure characters that nobody asked for keeps us guessing, and the fact that nobody saw this coming is awesome to me. From the character's obscurity to the possibility of fans being trolled, all the way down to how much it'll stand out from the rest of the roster, I think the Piranha Plant's perfect, and it gives a game with as much variety as Smash Ultimate just an ass hair more. And I know there's 5 DLC characters coming by the end of 2019, but I really hope Waluigi fans don't get their hopes up over this and just accept that Smash Ultimate's just not his time, because the sooner they accept this fact, then the less disappointed they'll be later on when he's not a part of the DLC. And if you're gonna let that significantly hinder your experience for a game as packed as this, then I feel bad for you. Besides, if you get the idea of Waluigi not being DLC out of your head, then the excitement will be that much greater if it somehow does end up happening. And I know some people may think they need to be even louder to make sure Waluigi's added on the line, but I really don't think that's gonna make the Sackman want to put him in like how he removed Game & Watch's feather. So even if you aren't happy about the Piranha Plant, just focus on the rest of the gold we're getting instead of what's missing, because the Smash Bros series is always gonna have somebody missing from the roster. And as soon as certain fighters get into the game, people will just move on to the next popular character to rally behind. But that really just gives us more to look forward to in the next game, which we all know will eventually happen, because even if the Sackman wants out of Smash, Nintendo's either gonna keep pulling him back in, or just have somebody else make it, since the series is at a point now where it's pretty much gonna be great even on autopilot. But if Waluigi doesn't make it into Smash 6 though, then fans will be completely justified for punching Sakurai in the butt. But for now, let's all just enjoy this game that has way more than enough content to keep us busy till the next installment. And I hope you Waluigi fans out there get what I'm trying to say. So if you'll excuse me, I gotta go pick my dad up at soccer practice in my brand new car.
There's not even a dent.
Brand new car.
It's a 96.
Well, you see how that happens. Anyway, what do you think, though? Are you excited for the Piranha Plant? Or do you think it's a slap in the ass of not only Waluigi fans, but fans of any popular video game character that's not in Smash? Either way, let me know what you think in the comments below, and as always, I'll pin whatever I find most entertaining or intriguing. If you want to support this channel and make appearances in our videos, then pick up an FUgameCrue shirt via the link in the description and send us a picture of you flaunting it. Either way, don't forget to like and share this video to help this channel grow. Thanks to everybody who supports us on Patreon from the bottom of my ass. And if you're a ripped bodybuilder with the world's largest arms, then prove it by clicking the subscribe button if you haven't already. My name's Cameron, and I'll see you next time.
So I want to say thank you to your loyalty. Thank you for your support.